Let's get this thing going, guys. It's Drinks with the Band. My name is Chris Denman on We Are Live. Tonight's our very first episode. We're going to have some cocktails. We're going to run through that with our friend E.T. He's the brand ambassador for the United States for Jack Daniels. Excited to talk with him. We've got our musical guest, Erika Wennerstrom from Heartless Bastards. We're doing this all summer long through September, each and every week, thanks to our friends at Jack Daniels, our friends at Kranzberg Arts Foundation. Cortex is helping promote and put the word out about this. We're based here in St. Louis. My man E.T. is in Los Angeles. How are you, buddy? Good to see you again.
Good, man. Good to see you too. Thanks for having me back.
Yeah, you've got the best backdrop in the business. I wanted to go ahead and get that out of the way for all those who are tuning in. Just a quick heads up. Thanks to ET, we've got a kick-ass Jack Daniels prize pack to give away. We'll explain more about that in a bit. Thanks to Jack Daniels, we'll also be giving away we'll let you pick out a T-shirt from Heartless Bastards store, Erika Wennerstrom's store. This is all about supporting the music of artists from here in St. Louis, as well as nationally touring acts, trying to keep you all entertained. And we're going to do that with some cocktails, some stories, and obviously live music as well. So thanks, everybody who's made this possible. Tonight, I figured we'd get to know E.T. a little bit. We talk about some hopes, dreams, and aspirations for the weekly program and what we're going to do. What's brought us here has been... unprecedented times. Is that still a thing? It's been crazy, but we think that we can bring some entertainment and some joy. Et, thank you so much, man. Great to see you again.
Yeah, you too. You too.
I'm curious tonight. You're gonna walk me through a cocktail, but let's get this started. Like why? I guess maybe Jack Daniels supports this. Let's give people just a little bit of a tour or a history of the Jack Daniels name being just synonymous with music.
Yeah, I mean, it's always funny whenever I do like a official tasting or training, everyone comes there saying, I know all there is to know about Jack Daniels, right? It's a label you see in every liquor store on the planet. Every bar in the world has Jack, and it's almost like white noise at some point. You just feel like it's just there. And there's so much after that we're over, like, oh my God, I had no idea about this, and this. And music is just one of those things that's been a part of Jack since Jack's day. It didn't come later. Jack himself um, was a big fan of music, and so much so he used to own two bars in the Lynchburg Town Square before it went dry at Prohibition. And sad to say, it's never come back, so it's still a dry county. And his two bars, the White Rabbit Saloon and the Red Dog Saloon, they needed music. So Jack, being a big fan of music, there was a bunch of musicians that didn't have the money to get, you know, um, all their instruments. So Jack, I think it was like a Sears and Roebuck catalog. He ordered a bunch of instruments and outfitted this band, and they were called the Silver Coronet Band, and they would play in the town square. And there's a great photo of them from way back in the day. So, and Jack had a ballroom in his house at some point with a grand piano, so people would entertain all his events at his house. And so music started with Jack. And you know, even for me, like I have nothing to do with the beginning of Jack or the first 145 years. And but music's how I got to Jack. My father, all Sinatra all the time. Every time he used to have a 280Z. You remember those
Oh yeah.
Datsun 280? Yeah. So he had that, and it was a cassette, and he had this one tape. I mean, he had many, but the one that was always in it was called Sinatra, Man and His Music, and it was stories and singing. And every time I got in his car, we would listen to that tape, and I think I could go word for word right now.
At a
And then my
280Z
mother
in Philadelphia.
yeah, just outside Philly. Um,
That's a
and
weird. I
yeah,
love it.
man, look,
I love it.
yeah, what are you
It's
gonna
awesome.
do?
Yeah.
And then on the flip side, my mom, she basically, she probably played music while I was in utero, and she had this massive album collection, and which I'm staring at right now because every time I go visit her, I take a few back to LA. And I used to remember going in and that sense of discovery of just like reaching in and pulling out an album. And, more often than not, I didn't know who it was because it wasn't, the Grease soundtrack, which is probably the only one I owned. And, and I remember literally pulling out Led Zeppelin 4 and, wacky cover with the hermit with like lurched over with the the whatever the thing's called, the light thingy. You know what I'm talking about?
Sure, 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 sure.
Lantern. They call them a lantern. And I put that on and I was like, oh my God, what is this? And you know, both those worlds, to get back to the point of music and Jack Daniels, you know, Sinatra loved Jack, Jimmy Page drank Jack, John Paul Jones drank Jack, Robert Plant drank Jack. So, you know, in my mind, when I finally got to be 21 and started drinking, Jack, I went right to it and never left. And obviously the whiskey in the bottle kept me staying, but music got me there. And music's such a big part, from Sinatra, who discovered it all by himself. He wasn't paid by us, and just fell in love and would go on stage and hold up his glass and say, this is the nectar of the gods. And then, because Sinatra's kind of like, you know, it's hard to call him a rock star because he didn't play rock, but it's hard not to call him the original rock star because of his life. You know what I mean? Like how
Very
he
true.
embodied, what he did. So I think a lot of music people just, that's what Sinatra did. So they tried it. So you got Zeppelin and the Stones, and now you have Eric Church and Kesha. So it's just, music's always been a part.
So, for you personally, somebody who represents an entire brand like that is iconic, I do want to let's tap into your, I guess, musical history a little bit. So, I was the perfect age for the switch over from cassette to CD. Right? I remember a very
Yes.
a stern talking to from Larry, from my dad, saying like, "Hey,
Right.
listen, I know we all love music. I'm gonna need you to stop buying these tapes. We're a CD family now. Like this is." He's like, "We got too many. We get. Like, I'm ordering CDs. We got this Columbia House thing going." Did you have a similar switch over at all, or was it all like kind of just a bleed in with the vinyl and the tape and everything like that? I say that because I earmark Green Day Dookie as like my. I'm sure I mowed a lawn or something,
Right.
totally not worth a CD. Uh, that was like my first album that was on CD that I got to have that was mine. Do you have, and it doesn't have
Gotcha.
to be the medium really, but do you have an album that you remember at like a point? Maybe you were just even awake enough to realize like that it's not the Disney soundtracks anymore or anything like that, right?
No, yeah, no, so I had my mom's collection, so I always had music and didn't
Yeah.
really, she had everything, that I liked. And then, getting into high school, I was a tape guy. And when I went to college, I was still a tape holdout, right? I didn't have a CD player. My roommate did in college, and I finally realized how much better CDs were than tapes for just convenience and space and all that. And the first CD I ever bought was Robert Plant, Manic Nirvana. And that was pre owning a CD player. I just used my roommates in college, but that I remember buying that.
Don't
And
ever try and go toe to toe with ET on cool things, by the way. It's always it's always going to crush you with something classic. Uh,
uh,
I do love that. As far as like the live show experience, I know we did speak before when we did the Tiger King roast. Shout out to Alonzo Bowden and all the great people that were part of that that Jack Daniels made happen. As far as live music experiences, so you're in Los Angeles, like obviously we're talking some serious history in the music industry there. Um, and again, if you're just tuning in, first night, drinks with the band, thanks to our friends at Jack Daniels. We got Erika Wennerstrom from Heartless Bastards, going to play 4 songs later as well. I'm curious on the live side of things, right? We're going to be doing this each week. I'm going to have to pull
right.
some cool stories out of you, man. And I think you're literally a professional speaker, so I think you'll be up to the task. But as far as in the last, we'll just say the last 5 years, do you have a show that has stuck out more that, and it doesn't have to be, I guess, but I think it's interesting whenever Jack Daniels gets involved with this stuff. Just a live show that has stuck out over the last 5 years.
Yeah. Um, yes. So a buddy of mine, we went to see like a what's it called? A record release party. And I was really into who was releasing the record. And we got there only to realize that person was not there. They were just playing the record. I'm like, why? Like, there's so many hurdles and to get to this and like get permission from my wife to take the night off of, whatever we were gonna do. And I'm like, this is so lame. So he was like, hey, Willie
They were
Nelson's
just like,
playing.
no,
I'm gonna
we
go.
got the CD or we have the
Yeah.
album, and we're all just gonna collectively enjoy it in this bar.
Yeah. So it's like, it wasn't even,
Yeah.
it was at the label, so it was even lamer because you're not even somewhere fun. It was like,
Right.
you
A
know,
bunch of
a
suits.
soundstage. Yeah. So we left and we scalped tickets to go see Willie Nelson, which was amazing.
Pretty great. Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty great. But you know, what brought me to that was the guy we got the tickets from. Like, well, he says to me, I can get tickets for anything. If you ever have trouble, I always have tickets. I'm like, what's your number? And he gives me his number. This is some random guy I met on the street on Hollywood Boulevard. And not the first time I got a number there either from a random guy. No, I'm kidding.
I'm sure. Good. Hey.
But you know, so I had his number on my phone, and the same buddy that I went to the show with, he works in music. So when Greta Van Fleet was just starting, before they had an album, before anyone knew who they were, or so I thought, they're playing the Troubadour. So I call my buddy Billy, the music guy. I'm like, hey, let's go see Greta Van Fleet. And he's like, oh man, what? I'm not in town when they're playing at the Troubadour. I'm like, I don't need you to be here to get me tickets. You know what I mean? Like,
This isn't a you thing, buddy.
Yeah. So he disappointed me again, and I'm like, oh, what about that guy from Willie Nelson? So I find him in my phone, call him up, and he's like, yeah, I can get you tickets. I'll meet you at the restaurant next to the Troubadour. I'm like, okay. So me and my wife go, and sure enough, he was there, got us tickets, and it was really cool to see a band right before. I mean, it was sold out because everyone that loved Zeppelin was there, and then every younger person that saw like these cute young rockers were there. So it was like people my age to 70, and then from my age to 21. You know, so it was the craziest, weirdest crowd. But you know, I never got to see Zeppelin at the Fillmore. I never got to see the Stones at early. I never saw the Beatles at the Cavern. But not saying this is equivalent.
I think
in
that you've
any
made that
stretch.
comparison in our first episode. We're gonna go ahead and it's gonna get tanked.
But I think they'll probably have a career. So to see a band right at the beginning, it's it's hard to catch a band before they become something.
Can I?
So.
Can I give you the sports equivalent where I whiffed on that?
Yes.
I saw.
Please do.
I was like maybe just graduated high school. I don't know, senior in high school, maybe something, whenever it was. It was whenever the Houston Texans first became a team, and I drove 4 hours, 5 hours, and across the state. It was like, heck, why not? I'll go to Kansas City for a preseason. A friend has had something going on there, and we saw David Carr's first game when he was the first overall pick for the Houston Texans. I don't know why, but I just followed his college career. His first game ever, and I was like, this is probably going to be a lot like seeing Peyton Manning's first game. I was off. I was way off on that. But so that can happen no matter if it's music, sports, or anything else.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, I'm sure I've seen a lot of bands' first shows, but it never became the Stones.
Right.
But,
that's kind of tough to do. I'm curious too, and we've got a drink that ET is going to walk me through here, and I'm excited about that. We do have a Jack Daniel's prize pack today. So all this is, so we're doing these each Wednesday, 8 o'clock Central. We're going to have some giveaways from Jack Daniel's each week. We're going to give you some artist merch. Like next week we have Hayes Carl on. He's going to join, so you could win a Hayes Carl t-shirt from his merch store. Our producer Matt is here. He's going to keep an eye on who's sharing, who's dropping comments. If you want to tell us a great concert that you've been to, just drop it in the comments, and make sure you all are sharing too. And we'll pick out, it'll be random, but if we see one that grabs our attention, you can win a free Jack Daniel's prize pack. And it's very, very exclusive, actually. What's in this Jack Daniel's prize pack? You're too damn nice, man. I've been giving stuff away for so long from radio and all this other stuff. I'm like, get them a sticker or something. You brought it. No. What are we giving away?
Well, come on. So a lot of stuff, we have a lot of cool Jack swag. I think I have, one of our newer hats right here.
Oh, that's nice. See, I've got this Corona hair. Oh, there you go. We got the widescreen on it. You want to show them again real quick? We got the widescreen. Show off our tech capabilities. Look at that. That is pretty. That would look great on my lid. I was saying I've got the Corona hair going right now, so I could use a hat like that. So
are you what's it called? Trying to subtly suggest you want me to send you a hat too?
I mean, if you would have said it to Midcoast
Not
Media,
so subtle.
right? But let us know in the comments the best show or just give us a great show you've been to, maybe a sentence or two, why you enjoyed it, and we'll pick out a winner. But that's the hat
Yeah.
is fantastic. Yeah.
Yeah. So the care pack, it'll be like getting a really cool care package in college, but the adult version. So there'll be a lot of fun Jack stuff. But one thing that's going to be in this inaugural care package for their inaugural drinks with the band, for home bartenders, I have a Jack Daniel's cutting board and muddler, and there's only, I think, 18 of these in the entire United States of
These
America.
people don't deserve this. This is beautiful.
They don't. So
Look at the hookup here. That is fantastic. Tell us a great show you've been to, and tell us why it was so great in the comments. And you can win a custom cutting board muddler. Look at you, E.T. I think you're after viewers and listeners' hearts and minds. Great work.
look, it's no one gets good mail anymore, right? It's bills and junk mail. So, when this little black box is going to show up to your house and you open it up, hopefully it's going to put a smile on your face and like, oh yeah, that podcast was cool.
Next time, hey, maybe pay it forward when you're at the grocery store and purchase. Don't pass the Jack bottle whenever you're going through. Okay, so we'll have Erika Wennerstrom on here in just a bit. Most importantly, it's called Drinks with the Band, and I get to have a cocktail explained to me by E.T., and I'm going to make it. I've got some ingredients. The base of our cocktail, you can see here, Jack Daniel's Rye. We're going with this today. Excited about that. Shout out to Julian for hooking this up, and the entire thing. We love Julian, and we've got some ingredients to go with it. So first off, tell me, and totally unrelated, if you don't have a knife at your office/studio, a pizza cutter will help with a certain part of the drink for the garnish. Just putting it out there. Totally random. Just wanted to say that for those of you at home. So what's the drink you picked for tonight?
So it's a drink, we're so close to July, I figure we go rye in July. So it's going to be Jack Rye as the base, but there's a very well-known gin drink called a Negroni, and it's been around forever, a classic cocktail, and it's just 3 ingredients, equal parts, gin, sweet vermouth, and Campari. So the whiskey version of a Negroni is called a Boulevardier. So I did a riff on a Boulevardier, and we're calling it the Boulevard of Broken Dreams. For no other reason.
Speaking of Green Day.
Boulevard. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So,
see how it all
go.
ties in.
That's why I did it. But yeah, so other than the word boulevard being in the name, I figured it would go well. But super easy drink. I'm gonna make it with you because I'm thirsty.
Can we cheers bottles?
We do it together, can we?
There you go. Yeah, there you go. You go to other side. There it is. I love this part. There it is. Yep.
Yeah,
perfect. All right, so we're going with the Jack Rye, right? Just you got a cocktail glass.
Yeah, you can build it in a glass. You can build it, in a mixing glass or pint glass, or you can just put it straight in the glass with ice. There you go. Perfect. Now the equal parts. So ounce for our 3 ingredients. I will tell you, like, I have a fancy bar measuring thing, and you don't need this. Right, because an ounce is 2 tablespoons. So if you have a tablespoon measuring thing at home, then use that. If you don't have this or that, just make sure it's equal parts and you'll be okay. So anything that measures something, use that. But I'll do an ounce of rye.
Okay. Going with the ounce of rye. Hang on.
Now, if you're going to go over on any of these, the rye you'd want, because the other 2 ingredients have a little bit of sweet to them, so you want to balance that with the rye. So if you go over a little bit with the rye, you're okay. Got it. Nice. Perfect.
Next.
Oh,
so by the way,
we're going to do.
No, please go ahead.
So we're going to, instead of Campari, we're going to use Aperol, which is basically like Campari's younger sibling. So Campari's got those real bitter notes. Aperol's got a little bit more sweet to it, a little grapefruit and orange to it, so it's going to go well with this. So we'll use a little Aperol, 1 ounce again.
Gives it that nice red tint.
Yes, it's good color too. It's a good point.
Now, how do you feel about working your way back a little bit if you think it's a little too red? Is it advised to brown it up?
Look, you're never going to go wrong adding a little bit of rye, um, in my book. So you do your thing.
Gotcha. Just looking out for those of you at home.
Yeah, and the last ingredient, which these haven't really been on the market until about, I don't know, 10, 12 years ago, ginger liqueurs. They kind of went away, and then one brand came out with a ginger liqueur, and now there's plenty. So there's a lot of good quality ones. Um, this is the one I happen to have at home, so we'll use this one. And again, 1 ounce of ginger liqueur.
All right. Going with it myself.
Look, we're the same one, twinsies.
This is very important for the. If you're playing along at home, that's
Yes.
hashtag twinsies for this episode.
Yes. Um, so now, as a former bartender of, over 20 years, one golden rule of thumb was, if it's a drink that's straight alcohol, like a Manhattan, you stir it. If there's juice or syrups involved, you shake it. This is one of those drinks where you can go either way. And the reason being, because we used Aperol and the ginger liqueur, they both have a little bit more weight to them than your straight alcohols. So if you stir it, which you totally can, you really have to stir the drink because you do want some of that dilution to kind of round out some of the syrup. They're not syrups, but they have more syrupy textures than Jack would or any spirit,
Right.
straight spirit. If you shook this drink, I would never call you out. I don't care how you make your drinks, as long as they taste good to you. I don't care
Good.
what you do. But if some, pretentious bartender's like, you can't shake that, it's all alcohol. This one, you should shake it. You can tell them you don't know what you're talking about.
I watched on
go
Drinks
read
with the
another-
Band.
Yes, I was on Drinks the Band. I know everything. But yeah, you could stir it or shake it. But if you do stir it till it's really cold. Which I didn't have a shaky thing, so I'm gonna stir my drink in my little beaker here.
Okay.
I like your technique.
You
good.
you always just make do with it. And here's the thing. I bartended for, I don't know, 5+ years, but I worked at a brewery. So it was kind of cheating because we were
Right.
super, super busy and I got very fast and efficient. But most 95% of people are coming in for a draft. And then, if they come in for a Jack and Coke or whatever else,
handle it.
you toss it in there. Yeah. So at times, some of the stuff that you're probably really good at intimidates me just a little bit. Although I could knock out, like, if there's 30 people, like, I'm going to get them drinks and get them the hell out of there pretty efficiently. But the cocktails, that's where it's at.
Look,
That's where the
cocktails
money's at, man.
well, no, not really. What you did was where the money was at.
I
Because
meant people think it's cool. Yeah.
it might look fancier, but if your bartender got a ticket that said 30 Jack and Cokes, pour cost nothing. That could maybe take 3 minutes. Whereas if that was like 18 different specialty drinks that muddle, stir, shake, spritz,
Yeah.
you're just watching money go out the door. But it looks pretty when it's all done.
True.
Let's toast a little Boulevard of Broken Dreams here.
Hey, to the first Drinks with the Band. And you have anything special that you cheers to, sir?
One of my favorite toasts of late is may you be as cool as your dog thinks you are.
I'm in full on. Great choice
Right.
and a great start, man. Cheers.
Cheers.
So you can look forward to seeing ET each and every week. Look at this, guys. But we'll pick one of these out before the end of the episode. But let's remind everybody, Jack Daniel's prize pack up for grabs. Just drop a comment and look at this, Heartless Bastards apparel, Jack Daniel's apparel that also includes a custom cutting board. So, and a hat, all kinds of good stuff. So ET's a generous dude and Jack Daniels too. We're going to get to Erika Wennerstrom. ET, I'm looking forward to next week. This is going to be fun. We're doing this each and every week. People can look forward to different cocktails. We're going to work some cool stories in. Anything for the good folks before you take off, or just tell them to tune in all the time, man? What do you got?
Yeah, tune in. And, there is one thing. Right before this, I was talking to my mother, whose album collection I am in the process of stealing.
Yeah.
And something my mom, I always remember this vividly as a kid. when she had the stereo with the turntable and the bigger speakers, she would put on her headphones and go to the room that had the stereo and just put a pillow down. I think back then we did have some shag carpeting going on,
Of course.
but she would lay on there with the big pillow, put the headphones on, and decompress from her day. And I didn't really rediscover that until not that long ago. It's great. So do it for Erika. Do it for a record you love. Just pour yourself a glass of Jack responsibly and listen to some tunes.
Love it. E.T., you can check him out here each and every week on Drinks with the Band. Always a pleasure, man, and great choice. This is delicious. Man. Yeah, absolutely.
Awesome.
Looking forward to more fun. Man. Cheers. E.T.,
sounds good. Cheers.
He'll be on next week. Our musical guest this week, Erika Wennerstrom from Heartless Bastards, going to be joining. She'll play 4 songs. And again, if you're tuning in, if you're sharing, and if you're commenting, you're going to be up for the prize that we're going to give away. Each and every week, we're going to give away band merch because we love supporting the arts, just like the Kranzberg Arts Foundation right here in St. Louis. They support artists. They have artists in residence. We actually are in the same building as them, so we're big fans of theirs, and you should be too. They do wonderful things for the St. Louis community and beyond. So we've got Erika Wennerstrom, our Heartless Bastards, joining for the first ever Drinks with the Band, live from Austin, Texas, on a very nice stage. How are you, Erika?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm looking forward to hearing some songs. It's so nice of you to join us. Mutual acquaintance. Shout out to Katie Tupin for hooking this up. She's a great person, so I assume you are as well. I'm so excited about this. I know people are big fans of your music, but I think it'll be interesting that they can get to know a little bit about you as well. Before we get into it, with Heartless Bastards, I like doing this. I like the I don't know how you feel about Spotify but they've got the artists fans also like. Before we dive into anything, Heartless Bastards, great guitars, great vocals from you. Your solo stuff's amazing too. I know we're going to see more of that moving forward. Give us just a quick comparison. If you like these two bands, you would like my music as well, Erika. Do you have 2 off the top of your head that fans of those bands would potentially be into your music?
Oh gosh. Maybe My Morning Jacket and
There's no wrong answer, and I almost was like, that's correct.
I'm sorry, are you saying should I name a couple of bands?
Yeah, let's get
that. Okay.
If people haven't,
sure I understand you right.
Right. If people have committed the atrocity of not listening to your solo stuff or your work with Heartless Bastards, then let's get them acquainted a little bit. So fans of My Morning Jacket, do you have one other? I have one. If you don't.
Yeah, sure. Please do. I'm really bad at I don't know. I have a lot of influences that are all so very different. That
it's interesting the kind of, I guess I always say, like almost like the tributaries of where people's tastes take them, right? Like you could, for some reason, you could find influence in a hip hop album that led you to some kind of a folk album or something like that. So I think that's important for everybody too, to kind of have their own creative path that they follow to music.
Yeah, I always feel like I'm inspired by like so many things that I just somehow end up sounding like myself in that process. But yeah,
that's a good answer. If I would have thrown it out there, I'd be like, listen, if you listen to Black Joe Lewis, the Honey Bears, and My Morning Jacket, you might be into them, and that's the route I would have taken. So I think that people can appreciate all of those. Erika, so you're joining us. Tell us about the stage. Like, are you at a huge auditorium in Austin? Like, what's going on?
Oh, I got this on Amazon. It's a photo booth backdrop.
Yes.
I just thought I'd start to have fun with. It's just like I got this stand, and it's just like a.
The fourth wall's broken.
Yeah. I thought it would be fun. Yeah.
No, it is.
I should straighten out the curtain. Oh, I forgot. Right. This is like a mirror image, so it's.
I think it looks great. I'm curious. So you, the band formed in Cincinnati. Where did you grow up?
I grew up in Dayton, Ohio.
Dayton,
Yeah.
Ohio. That's wonderful. Did you have local influences kind of coming up that I guess maybe put you on the path to fronting a successful band?
Yeah, yeah. Dayton had a really great scene in my teen years, and the Breeders blew up. You know, Cannonball was like number one when I was in high school. And I loved Guided by Voices. There's a art rock band called Brainiac,
Yeah.
which is well, I'm glad you're familiar. I mean, they're great. They're very obscure at now, but you know, I mean, they were touring with Beck, and yeah.
Yeah, it's
Um,
wild too to think about that. Like I'm thinking of Cannonball, and I don't know if it was MTV or just commercial radio or what, but at the time, I'm a kid in Southeast Missouri, like loving that song, and it reached so many people. So that's cool that you were close to that as well. We do have 4 songs, so it's all about that, right? Drinks with the band. You're going to play some tunes. I think that's why people are jumping in. If you all are sharing, liking, commenting, I'm going to pick a random winner. We're going to Jack Daniels, our friends at Jack Daniels, are going to purchase a T-shirt from Erika's merch store, and we'll hook you guys up. So make sure you're staying busy, and we'll pick winners at the end of the show. But wanted to learn a little bit more about Erika. In regards to the time right now, have you been spending any of it writing new music? I know there's been some transitions in the last few years and how you're kind of attacking things. This is a strange time. I know you've been busy with some live shows online, but I am curious, creatively, have you dove into anything during the entire, I guess I say break, but forced break, huh?
yeah, you know, I had just finished the next Heartless Bastards album when uh, like a week before things shut down, and I'm just sort of sorting out where to go with that. You know, but you know, as far as writing new songs, I had plans to sort of go ahead and start writing a new one before this next one comes out,
Really?
which I thought would be sooner. I was originally going to release in the fall. I'm not quite sure now, but honestly, I have not been writing songs.
Well,
I
if you
guess I
just
think I'm just sort of absorbing everything that's going on,
right.
and yeah, yeah.
No, that makes perfect sense too. And just if you just finished up that album and you're ready to go, there's so much that goes into that. Whenever I guess at this point in your career, do you have 5 albums out with Heartless Bastards? Is it 5 total? I mean,
Yes.
that's a lot. Like that's a lot of work. That's a lot of blood, sweat, and tears. At this point, is it super important to be able to tour on that new album? Right? I mean, is it a huge waste if you're just like, hey, I'm just going to put it out there, people can consume it digitally, or do you need to tour for that to be a success?
Um, you know, I don't think anybody knows the answer to that. I mean, as far as like, no matter how big of an artist you are,
Yeah.
I mean, maybe some folks have recently released albums. I haven't really kind of checked in on how that is going, and
Mm-hmm.
you know, I. I'm sorry, you were asking me.
No, I'm just curious about if you feel that the marrying an album release with a hardcore tour schedule is important in 2020, or if there's, I mean, if we're all trapped at home, I mean, is it? I mean, maybe you're able to reach more people in a weird way.
Yeah, yeah. Well, you know, I'm actually in the middle of label shopping,
Mm-hmm.
so I'm not sort of a. And it was just, it's a time where I think people are kind of uh, figuring things out. Labels too, like, you know, are we gonna, you know, I know a lot of, for a fact, a lot of releases were gonna come out this spring that have been pushed back. So some of that is a bit beyond my control.
Sure.
or maybe it isn't. I don't know. I'm figuring it out.
I would.
I'm actually going to. I have a song that I wrote a couple of years ago, but it rings very true. All the more true now with the time. So I'm actually going to release a song in a couple of weeks on my own because I think it's a message that needs to get out there. So
I love
uh,
that. Can you give us a
yeah.
Can you give us a preview at all? I mean, is it something that's just that has to do with the current situation? What's the I guess you don't have to give away all the secrets, but what's the overall message or something that would point to it?
Well, it's called Revolution. So
I see where this is
yeah,
headed. I like it.
yeah.
Yeah. I think that's important for
It's
people to be able to connect to things like that and whether the artist intended for them to or not, or if it's in an important time or not. I mean, I think eventually it kind of finds its way, right?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I think the message in the song is, something that would continue to be relevant, but it feels very timely right now.
Well, I think it'll help people, and your
I
lyrics
hope
are
so.
very well. You're a very talented writer, and if you all get a
Thank
chance,
you.
go back, listen, purchase Erika Heartless Bastards music online. We're gonna hear some songs. I am curious, and this is very out front on your website, and it seems like it's influenced you. Uh, Ayahuasca. Have you? Do you feel like you found your true self? You're able to kind of watch yourself from afar now. Give us just a quick. You don't have to break down the entire experience or how you've applied it to life, but does it, I guess, influence you artistically? And if people aren't familiar, you can look it up. There's a lot of research and different things, experiences out there online. But Erica, for you, what has that experience meant?
Well, I think it just allowed me to step out of myself and yeah, I think it's given me a lot of perspective on my life. But it's almost like I ever since I've started doing ceremonies, I would sort of see um, have an experience where we have patterns in our life that we sometimes
Sure.
repeat. And I was able to realize certain patterns. And, they say insanity is the definition of doing the same thing over and over, but expecting different results. And at some point, when that's happening and when you recognize certain patterns within yourself, when you recognize them, you're able to sort of break those patterns, and some of them are formed through early life experience or more recent experiences. Some are societally conditioned, yeah. So
That has to be if you're not familiar with it, again, look it up, see all about that. But it seems as though most people that discuss it, it's like a big point of change in their life. So I'm happy for you that you've gained that
yeah.
perspective, and that has to be huge as a as a creator, as an artist as well. So I don't want to keep people waiting too long. I just want to remind everybody, stay busy in the comments. If you'll share this, if you kind of let us know. I mentioned earlier, tell us about one of your favorite shows that you've attended in the last few years. We'll hook you up. We're going to pick some random winners for the Jack Daniels prize pack. And then one of you is going to get a Heartless Bastards t-shirt as well. Look at that beautiful graphic, I tell you. Wonderful, wonderful work by the Midcoast team here. So this is our first ever performance on Drinks with the Band. It's Erika Wennerstrom, Heartless Bastards. We've got 4 songs. I don't know if you just want to drop a title and get going. We'll chat just a little bit between the songs, and we'll finish up with some encore questions, and people can be on their way. So, Erika, I don't want to stand in your way. Cheers. You can kick things off. Let us know what the first song is. What do we have?
Let's see. How about this is a new song. It's going to be on the new album. It's called "You Never Know." And I forgot God, I couldn't hear you clearly. Are we talking in between songs,
Yeah,
or
well,
should I?
yeah,
What? Okay.
I'll chat you up unless you just want to speed through.
No, no. Either way, I just
She's a
wanted
pro, people.
to.
She knows. Like, what is this? Tell me what's going on. Erika Wennerstrom, Heartless Bastards, brand new song. Hit it, Erika. Thank you.
If I asked you to stay, would you hold me in your arms? What a beautiful thing this could be. Oh, oh, and I risk my own breaking just to see where this could lead. What else am I gonna do but run my days through? You never know unless you let yourself see. You never know unless you open up your eyes. You never know until you do. You never know until you do. On this beautiful morning, oh, there's a light in your eyes, and I don't know why sometimes it makes me wanna run and hide, but I'm getting a little older, getting a little bolder, getting a little wiser, getting a little brighter. Oh, 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 oh. Oh, 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 oh. Oh, 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 oh. Oh, 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 oh. You never know unless you let yourself see. You never know unless you open up your eyes. You never know until you do. You never know until you do. You never know until you do.
Erika Wennerstrom giving us a brand new song. Thank you so much for that, Erika. Not bad for the first song on Drinks with the Band. Man, I got a new one.
Oh, all right.
I'm over here puffing my chest out. This is great. So for We Are Live, this is a feature for my show, We Are Live. I think the first, you're totally fine. The first live, I'm trying to think. We've had some musicians on. We did an in-studio with, are you familiar with Lucero?
I am.
You
Yeah,
are?
I've done some
Okay.
shows with them.
Yeah, fun guys, super nice, introspective dudes. It's so cool to see, like, it felt like we were kind of, I know this, people have been doing this for forever, but from that point, I don't know, 4 or 5 years ago to now, we're doing this streaming with somebody like yourself. Like, I'm really grateful for all for the great tunes. And like, if we can put a positive spin on the strange times, this is wonderful. And I know people are enjoying it in the comments. We've gotten a lot of great feedback already. So wonderful start is all I wanted to say. So thank you for kicking things off in such a great way. And everybody, wish Erika a happy birthday. It was her birthday last week. We were.
Oh, you too. Your
Oh, of
birthday was
course.
Friday, right?
Yep, Thursday and Friday. So birthdays, like, and I don't know. Do you? And maybe you do. Do you get into the horoscopes and all that stuff? Or we're Gemini's, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
People.
I'm not sort of. I once in a while I read
Yeah,
it. You
I'll
know.
listen to people if they want to bring it up to me, and it's kind of like when people start describing a dream to me. I'm like, please just don't like let's not go long. It could be interesting, sure, but we don't have to go too deep on it. But Erika, great first song. Again, wish Erika a happy birthday in the comments. You gotta, right? She's gonna sit here and play songs for you. You guys owe her. And if you're staying busy, again, we're going to give away a Heartless Bastard shirt as well. What's the next song we're going to hear? Can you give me just a quick overview, I guess?
I'm gonna switch guitars. I think I have this one tuned down a little bit.
Oh, of course.
All right.
See, look at this. She's got a whole stage, multiple guitars. There's a piano back there somewhere. Can you show us
behind the curtain?
Can you show us the what's the insignia on the side of that guitar? It looked like there was some. Was there like a cool design on the side of that?
Oh no, it must have just been
like a shadow. I just wanted to see a cool design. Okay,
yeah.
Well, now we know. What's our next song?
This next song is called "Extraordinary Love." This one is on my solo album, Sweet Unknown.
Very exciting.
Trying to get this mic placement just right. Been so long out on the open road, I'm barely touch the ground. Blinded eye was slowly floundering towards the sun. Oh. Maybe it was curiosity or a search for love or identity. I don't know just what I was looking for. I climbed a mountain and I went down into the jungle to feel in the colors of my mind. And I drank a potion that I sold my life in motion. And it was so clear for me to see. I want to feel extraordinary love. A love that always echoes through my mind. I want to feel extraordinary love. A love that only comes from the side. want to feel extraordinary love. I love that always echoes through my mind. I want to feel extraordinary love. I love that only comes from within.
Whew, take a breather there. I don't know if you're into one-person audiences. Many other people watching online. I'm sweating. That was so. Erika could sing. People, we have a lot of very positive comments. We've got. I did ask people to tell us about one of their favorite concerts. They'd be entered to win some of the prizes we're giving away. Big shout out to Doyle Murphy from the Riverfront Times. That's a paper here in town. Possibly my favorite concert was seeing Heartless Bastards at the Jackpot in Lawrence, Kansas on a July night when the AC went out. Oh my
Oh
God.
man, I will never forget that show. Oh yeah.
What was it? One of those where it was like, screw it, you're gonna see the best sweaty show you've ever seen? Was it just brutal?
Yeah, I mean, we had fun. I thought we played a great show. The audience had a great time, but at the end of it, I mean, I think somebody in the band that played before us actually fainted when he got off stage to sort of express how hot it was that day. And I felt like there was like an inch of liquid on the floor. It's a pretty gross thought, but
Yeah, I
I
often
mean, it was
wonder.
probably drinks too. I don't want to say it was all
Yeah,
sweat, but there was a lot of sweat on the floor.
that's one of
Yeah.
those things. I don't know. Like, I want to say from like 18 to 23, I had a 5-year run of Warp Tours, and I look back on it, and I'm just thinking like, how did we like? Because I don't know, it would come around St. Louis in like August maybe. Have you played one of these festivals in the heat of August where you're like, I don't know if I'm going to be able to get through this?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I guess, I mean, it's always, it's a bit of a challenge, but I think just the energy of people has always kind of pulled me through that. Now, if we played under those conditions for like, say, like on a doing like this, that would be challenging.
Right. You wouldn't be able to
Just to not
concentrate.
like see the audience,
Right. I wouldn't be able to give you enough energy for that. E.T. We love E.T. He was just on. He said, last great live show I saw was Erika Wennerstrom. Do I win the swag? No, you can't win, E.T. Couple others real quick. Shout out to Monique. Monique says Heartless Bastards concert at the Canton Waterfront Park in Baltimore was one of my favorite concerts. My friend gave me a leg up and over a fence so I could dance right in front of the stage in the VIP section. Do you engage the VIP dancers when you're on stage, Erika?
I
Lock
do I
eyes with
engage
them.
them?
Do you lock eyes mid-song?
Possibly.
I'm sure you encourage them plenty with your tune. So, well, I don't want to hold you up too much. We've got another song from you. Wow, great so far. Everybody's super enjoying it. This is not a bad way to spend a Wednesday night. So again, thank you to Erika, and you all go out, support Erika. We're gonna give one of you a T-shirt that Jack Daniels is gonna purchase and then send to you. Again, if you're sharing, commenting, we're gonna consider you part of the fun. I am also asking you all to go support Erika. Buy the new album when it comes out. Go back. You can check them out on Spotify, but highly recommend going and actually purchasing the music as well. That helps out the artists. And whenever you have a large portion of your income wiped away by not being able to tour, support is what we're all about. So guys, get out there, show Erika some love however you can, and let's keep this thing going. So Erika, what's our next song?
Okay, this is well, I guess I'll go ahead and play Revolution. I was gonna say Resolution. I have another song with that word in it.
The new song that hasn't been released yet? Really?
Yeah. Well,
okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
the first song was new too. Yeah.
Well, we're getting all the good stuff. I want to two things. I want to apologize for my hair, and then I want to thank our friend. We have Zuzu throwing some hearts in the comments. So shout out to Zuzu. Let's hear an unreleased song. I'm so excited. Hey, take it away, Erika. Thank you.
Where you going, my friend? Have you forgotten when there was a time filled with hope instead of fear that's in your heart? There was a time when life was simple and innocent to start. Do you remember? Do you remember? Where you going, my friend? Have you forgotten when there was a time when false information wasn't so rampant in the sphere? There was a time when you weren't questioning everything you hear. Do you remember? Do you remember? And constantly being advertised, a life commercialized and disguised as happiness and pills and potions, fancy threads and cars in motion, hypnotized by gilded lies to line the pockets of so few, while hungry politicians feed bullshit to the masses to ensure their status sales and further divide the classes. And you were born with a voice, so open up and speak your mind. Raise consciousness and elevate how we all relate. Don't hesitate, no need to be better, smarter than anybody else. Leave judgment at the door for others and yourself. The revolution is in your mind. 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 Big brother's watching you and trying to show you something new. And I just wanna take away the blues. Big brother's watching you and trying to show you something new. And I just wanna take away the blues. The revolution is in your mind. 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 Revolution. 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 When I get up, oh, I get up in the morning. All I really want is the truth. Oh, when I open my eyes and I get up in the morning, all I really need is the truth. You were born with a voice, so open up and speak your mind. Raise consciousness and elevate how we all relate. Don't hesitate, no need to be better, smarter than anybody else. Leave judgment at the door for others and yourself. The revolution is in your mind. 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 When I get up, oh, I get up in the morning. All I really want is the truth. Oh, when I open my eyes and I get up in the morning, all I really need is the truth. Revolution, 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 revolution. Oh, the revolution is in your mind. The revolution is in your mind. The revolution is in your mind. The revolution is in your mind.
The people need to hear that, and they need to hear it yesterday. Wonderful work, Erika. Again, another very powerful song.
Thank you.
A powerful songwriter with a powerful voice. I'm very excited to hear it's a weird thing. Like for a song like that, I almost always want it to stay raw, right? Like I want it to be on a live stream on a Wednesday night with drinks with the band. But the magic that can happen in a studio and the extra care that can go into that is always exciting as well. So I'm very, very happy we got to hear that tonight. So thank you so much, Erika. Wonderful work.
Oh yeah, sure. Yeah, the album version, it has a whole band and stuff. So it's yeah.
There's a lot happening there. It'll be fun.
Yeah.
It'll be nice to hear that. Do you feel like, I guess in modern times that music can be, I realize that things happen and we don't always realize the moment we're living in or how powerful something is. Do you feel like that a song like that could be something that people are talking about in 20, 30 years, like some people do with, like a Marvin Gaye song or other songs that defined eras of the 60s? Do you feel that it's still important for artists like yourself to speak out and to create those types of anthems?
Yeah, I mean, as I think it's a message that is something that we would possibly need to remind ourselves of 10 years or however long from now. But as far as like will people, I mean that would be great. You never know where the life of a song goes. I just create it and put it out there. But I will say a song like Marvin Gaye's music is something that still very much resonates. I actually, on the upcoming album, there's a song I have called A Beautiful Life that I very much took in the direction of Mercy, Mercy Me, and he has, what's the other one? What's Going On?
Of course.
I was very much inspired by him, and when I was listening to the words of of those songs, they still very much resonate. And I think that society is, I think we're making progress, but I realize looking back, we've made a lot of progress, but we still got a long way to go, and we probably will, years from now too, maybe with different stuff. So yeah,
It's always changing. So Erika, again, Erika
yeah.
Wennerstrom, Heartless Bastards. There's been new music played tonight. What a way to kick off Drinks with the Band. Next week, we're going to have the pleasure of having Hayes Carl on. We also have our friend Womack from Future Birds. Katie Tupin's going to be joining down the line. A St. Louis favorite who tours internationally, Tonina, will be joining us. Brian Owens going to be joining us. Ron Gallo. I'm missing Sean James. Some really talented people, and Andy Frasco down the line. Erika, I'm so happy you got to kick this off for us tonight. I know you got one song left. I'd love to hear that one, and then we can say goodbye at the end, and again, tell people how to support you. So Erika, please, your final song. I'd love to hear it.
Okay, yeah. Actually, I'm gonna do another new one.
Look at this.
It's that song, "A Beautiful Life." The acoustic version is a lot different than the other one, but here goes. I can see now the road is clear. Been looking for the signs there to steer me. Break among the edges or shake patterns from the trees towering above me. Oh, like a newborn baby. I'm beginning again, and open up my arms wide, and I'm not holding on. Free to be me, beautiful and strong. It's a beautiful life. It's a beautiful life. Oh, if you let it be. Found the key to my loneliness. I had to find new space within life and perpetual motion. And I keep moving on, and I open up my arms wide, and I'm not holding on. Free to be me, beautiful and strong. It's a beautiful life. It's a beautiful life. Oh, if you let it be. Standing in fear, distance one another. Or can we be good to each other? Or can you hear me crying through these growing pains? Or can you hear me laughing through these growing pains? I know my heart is open, is open, is open, oh, oh, my heart is open, is open, is open, oh, some beautiful life, oh, 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 if you let it be. Oh, it's a beautiful life. Oh, 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 if you let it be.
It's a beautiful live stream on Drinks with the Band is what it is. My goodness, wonderful work. Erika Wennerstrom, Heartless Bastards. We got a new album coming there. You can listen to solo stuff. So many great things happening. And again, we're going to pick out winners. We'll message you and let you know who won the Jack Daniels giveaway. Lots of great comments, lots of things to sift through. And we're also going to get you a shirt from Heartless Bastards store. Erika, thank you so much. It was so nice getting to know you a little bit more and hear these great songs live. I don't know what you have planned in the near future. Anything interesting? Is it going to be all business? Is it just going to be kind of waiting things out? Let's give people a little encore question answering, I guess you could say. What's going to happen for the rest of the year for you?
Well, I'm making plans to go to Montana and stay with a friend out there and just write another album. Yeah, I figured it would be. I mean, I'm in Texas right now, and it's going to be 100 degrees every day for a while. And if I'm going to be socially isolating, I figured I would just do it where I can walk in nature comfortably.
There's bears up there, Erika. You keep an eye out.
Yeah.
That happens. But Erika, people can follow Heartless Bastards on Instagram, Facebook, all of that. Again, one of you is going to win a T-shirt, but the rest of you should go out, buy music, buy all of the things that have to do with Erika, Heartless Bastards, and the like. Anything else before we get out of here, Erika? You've been so gracious with your time, and you built this entire stage just for the show. What a great time.
I can't think of anything else other than thanks for having me. And,
absolutely. If you're new to
everybody out there that tuned in.
So many great people. Yeah, so many nice comments. And follow us at We Are Live Radio, Instagram, Facebook, all that good stuff. Again, we're doing this every Wednesday night. Thanks to our friends at Jack Daniels, the Kranzberg Arts Foundation, Cortex, Silver Lining Cocktails. Order your cocktails here in St. Louis. They'll deliver to you. Our good friend Matt, who we do virtual happy hour with, him and Pat every Thursday. Tomorrow we're doing that at 4 o'clock our time. Erica Rhodes, she's a comic from LA. She'll be joining us. Our friend Karen Choi is going to play some music. We do trivia. We do all kinds of stuff each and every week, and we throw some interviews in too. So we're a podcast, video series, whatever you want to say. We're keeping busy, and we're bringing you people like Erika on Drinks with the Band. Erika Wennerstrom, Heartless Bastards, don't you dare be a stranger. This was an absolute delight. Thank you so much for getting this kicked off with us, Erika. It was truly a delight. Thank you.
Thank you. You all take care.
Absolutely. Take care, everybody. We'll get those winners' prizes out. Thank you for tuning in to Drinks with the Band.